So the next case which we will consider is when two plane mirrors are placed perpendicular to each other. So in these cases which we considered earlier also, when two plane mirrors are placed parallel to each other, the images which we are obtaining in this case and in this case, in both the cases, the image which we obtain are virtual, which are obtained by producing the reflected rays backward. So let us consider the second case. In this case, the theta is 90 degree when two mirrors are placed perpendicular to each other. So if we substitute theta as 90 degree, we get n equals to 4. Now 4 is even, so what will be the number of images in this case? If n is coming out to be even, the number of images will be n minus 1, that is 3. So let us consider how the images are formed in this case. We will consider two cases. In first case, we will consider a point object P. In this case, when the two light rays coming from this object falls on this mirror first, this mirror is OB. If the two light rays first fall on OB, they are reflected, and by producing the reflected rays backward, we get an image P2. Now these reflected rays, when fall on OA mirror, they act as a virtual object and they will again be reflected back, and when we will produce them backward, we get another image P3. So this is the first case. The second case is there is another possibility that the two light rays may fall on this mirror OA first. Rather than falling on OB, they may fall on OA first. So they will be reflected like this, and by producing them backward, the reflected rays when produced backward, we get image P1. These reflected rays when fall on OB, they are again reflected, and when produced backward, we get another image P4. Now in total we are getting 4 images. Now the two light rays when fall on OB or OA, this process do not occur differently. These light rays may fall on both the images, on both the mirrors simultaneously. These light rays falling on OB and OA, these light rays will fall on both the images simultaneously. So what will happen? This image P3 and P4, they will overlap with each other, and to us the total images which will appear will be 3. So number of images which will be formed in this case will be 3. Now this is the calculation which I have already shown over here. So next we will consider uses of plane mirror, where the plane mirrors are used. It is used as a looking glass, then it is used in optician's room to increase the effective length of the room, barber's shop. They are used in periscopes, kaleidoscope, in solar heating devices. So these are some of the uses of plane mirrors. So now we shall consider the numericals of exercise 7b. The first one is state the number of images of an object placed between two plane mirrors formed in each case when the mirrors are inclined at 90 degree and at 60 degree. So let us calculate these two cases. In first case, the theta is 90 degree. So we will substitute theta in this formula to be 90 degree. N is coming out to be 4. N is even. So number of images will be n minus 1, that is 3. In B part, the theta is 60 degree. If we substitute 60, we get n to be 6. N is even. So number of images will be n minus 1, that is 5. In second case, the object is placed asymmetrically and symmetrically, and theta is given to be 50 degree. We have to calculate number of images in both the cases. So if we substitute theta to be 50 degree, n is coming out to be 7.2. So we will approximately take n to be 7. So in first case, the object is placed asymmetrically. Number of images will be n, that is 7. In second case, the object is placed symmetrically. The number of images will be n minus 1, that comes out to be 6. So these were the two numericals. Next is spherical mirrors. What is a spherical mirror? It is a reflecting surface which is part of a sphere. So we will consider over here a glass sphere. You can see this is a glass sphere. If this portion of the glass sphere is cut, it will give rise to, we can make from this portion, we can make a convex mirror. If we cut this much portion of the glass sphere, we will get another mirror which is concave mirror, and these mirrors are formed by silvering their back surface. This convex mirror can be formed by silvering this surface which is bulged inward, and concave mirror can be made by silvering the surface which is bulging outward. So you can see the concave mirror and convex mirror they have explained over here. So these are the spherical mirrors which can be made with the help of a glass sphere. So they have shown the concave mirror and a convex mirror. Then we need to define some terms. First is center of curvature. We have discussed that both concave and convex mirror are a part of a sphere. So the center of curvature is the center of the sphere of which the mirror is a part. Then radius of curvature. Radius of curvature is the radius of that sphere of which the mirror is a part. So this is the center of curvature of this concave mirror. This is the center of curvature, and this distance will be radius of curvature. This is the convex mirror. This is the center of curvature, and this distance will be the radius of curvature. Next definition is aperture. Aperture is that surface area of the mirror on which the light rays are falling and entering. So we can say the area which is exposed to light is the aperture. Then principal axis, a straight line which is passing through the center of the mirror, and the center of the mirror, the geometric center of the spherical mirror is known as pole. So we can define principal axis as the straight line which joins the pole to the center of curvature. Then they have shown the reflection which is taking place in concave and convex mirror both. This is the concave mirror. A light ray is incident on the concave mirror, and this is the normal which is drawn, and this normal will pass through the center of curvature, and we will get a reflected ray. I will be equal to R, obeying the laws of reflection. In the second case, there is convex mirror. This is the incident ray. The reflected ray will go like this. I will be equal to R, again obeying the first law of reflection. So in the case of spherical mirror also, like the plane mirror, in the case of spherical mirror also, both the laws of reflection will be obeyed. Now focus and focal length. For that, we will first consider a concave mirror. This is a concave mirror. It is silvered from the back. Now we will consider parallel beam of light rays falling on this mirror. Now obeying the laws of reflection, we will get the reflected rays. You can see the red color rays are reflected rays. They will meet at a point. This point is focus. This is the focus of the concave mirror. Now you can see we are obtaining a point, a focus, by actual intersection of the reflected rays. So we say that concave mirror has a real focus because reflected rays are actually intersecting with each other. If we consider a convex mirror, the parallel beam of light is falling on convex mirror. These are the reflected rays. They will go away from each other. So if they are going away from each other, they will not meet, but they will meet if we produce them backward. So they appear to meet at this point. They appear to meet when produced backward. They appear to meet at this point, and this is the focus of convex mirror. So we obtain the focus of the convex mirror when we produce the reflected rays backward. So this convex mirror has a virtual focus. So we can say that in this case, in the first case, that is the case of concave mirror, the focus is real focus. In this case, the focus is virtual focus. Now next is focal plane. Focal plane is the straight line which passes through the focus. If we consider parallel beam of light rays which are parallel to each other but not parallel to the principal axis. This is the principal axis passing through the center of curvature and pole. If the beam of light rays are parallel to each other but not parallel to the principal axis, the reflected rays will meet at a point, and that point will be in the focal plane. Focal plane is a straight line which passes through the focus. This is the focal plane of concave mirror, and this is the focal plane of the convex mirror. In this case also we considered parallel beam of light rays which are parallel to each other but not parallel to the principal axis. So these are the reflected rays. When produced backward, they are meeting at a point, and this point lies in the focal plane. This focal plane passes through the focus. Then we will consider some convenient rays for the construction of image by ray diagram. So these rays you have to learn. The first ray which you have to learn is, this is concave mirror and this is the principal axis. A straight line is passing through the center of curvature. If a light ray, this is the light ray, not line, sorry. This is a light ray passing through the center of curvature. If a light ray passes through the center of curvature, it will be reflected in the same path, or it will retrace its path. So this is the concave mirror. In the convex mirror also, if light ray appears to pass through the center of curvature, it will be reflected back through the same path. It will retrace its path. Now the second ray which you have to learn is a ray which is parallel to the principal axis. This is a ray which is parallel to the principal axis. After reflection, it will pass through the focus. This is a ray parallel to the principal axis. It will be reflected like this and it will appear to pass through focus. So in convex mirror, we will use the word appear to again and again. Then the third ray is a ray passing through the focus. After reflection, it will become parallel to the principal axis. Then a ray which appears to pass through the focus, it will again become parallel to the principal axis. Then fourth ray is a ray which falls on the pole. It will be reflected like this. I will be equal to R. Obeying the laws of reflection, we will obtain the reflected ray in both the cases. This is concave mirror, this is convex mirror. So you have to learn these cases. And one more thing I want to tell you, in the previous exercise I told you to explain this note which is given over here. So the object and images formed by two inclined mirrors lie on the circumference of the circle. When we considered the case when two mirrors were arranged normal to each other, they are saying object and images P3, P2, P4, P1 and the object, they are lying on the circumference of the circle, and the center of the circle is at the point of intersection of the two mirrors, and the radius of this circle is equal to the distance of point of intersection from the object. So this is given over here. So this was pending, I explained it.